Once upon a time, in a small Nigerian village called Oko, there lived a man named Chinedu and his wife, Adaeze. Chinedu loved Adaeze very much. She was beautiful and kind, and they were very happy together. But one day, Chinedu started to feel very strange. He began to spy on Adaeze, even though she had done nothing wrong. He would hide behind doors and watch her when she was cooking, or he would follow her to the market without her knowing. One evening, Chinedu saw Adaeze talking to their neighbor, Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi was a tall and handsome man who always wore a big smile. Chinedu's heart filled with jealousy, and he felt very angry. He thought Adaeze was being too friendly with Ifeanyi, but in truth, they were just talking about the weather. That night, Chinedu couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Adaeze and Ifeanyi. He decided to follow Adaeze the next day to see what she was doing. In the morning, Adaeze told Chinedu she was going to visit her friend, Chinyere. Chinedu pretended to be busy but secretly followed her. Adaeze went to Chinyere's house and they sat outside laughing and chatting. Chinedu hid behind a tree and watched them. He felt a bit silly but couldn't help himself. As Chinedu was spying on his wife, a man named Emeka walked by. Emeka was known in the village for his charm and good looks. He saw Chinedu hiding and asked, "Chinedu, why are you hiding here?" Chinedu was embarrassed but decided to tell Emeka the truth. "I don't know why, but I keep spying on my wife. I feel jealous and worried all the time." Emeka looked at Chinedu with concern. "You should trust your wife, Chinedu. Spying on her will only make things worse." Chinedu nodded but still felt unsure. As Emeka was about to leave, he turned back and said, "By the way, Chinedu, can I talk to you in private later? I have something important to tell you." Chinedu agreed, wondering what Emeka wanted to say. Later that evening, Chinedu met Emeka at a quiet spot by the river. Emeka looked nervous as he spoke. "Chinedu, I need to confess something. I have feelings for you. I know it sounds strange, but I think I love you." Chinedu was shocked. He had never thought about Emeka in that way. His mind was filled with confusion and fear. He didn't know what to say or do. Emeka continued, "I know this is difficult, but I just needed to tell you. I hope you can understand." Chinedu felt like his world had turned upside down. He didn't know how to handle these new feelings. He was afraid of what Adaeze would think if she found out. He also didn't know if he felt the same way about Emeka. With his heart and mind in turmoil, Chinedu realized he needed to make a choice. But what would that choice be? Chinedu couldn't sleep that night. His mind was spinning with thoughts of Emeka and Adaeze. He felt guilty and confused. The next morning, he decided to act normal and pretend nothing had happened. He greeted Adaeze with a smile and went about his daily chores. But as the days went by, Chinedu found it hard to avoid Emeka. Every time he saw Emeka, he felt his heart race. He was torn between his feelings and his love for Adaeze. Chinedu knew he couldn't keep living this way, but he didn't know what to do. One afternoon, Adaeze noticed that Chinedu seemed troubled. She sat beside him and asked, "Chinedu, is something bothering you? You seem different lately." Chinedu wanted to tell Adaeze everything, but he was scared. Instead, he just shook his head and said, "No, Adaeze, I'm fine, just a little tired." Adaeze looked at him with concern but didn't press further. She hoped Chinedu would open up to her when he was ready. Meanwhile, Emeka continued to try to talk to Chinedu. He sent him messages and tried to meet him in secret. Chinedu felt trapped. He didn't want to hurt Emeka, but he also didn't want to betray Adaeze. One evening, Chinedu decided to go for a walk to clear his mind. As he walked through the village, he saw Emeka sitting alone by the river. Emeka looked sad and lost in thought. Chinedu knew he couldn't keep avoiding him, so he walked over and sat down beside him. "Emeka, we need to talk," Chinedu said softly. Emeka looked up with a hopeful expression. "I've missed you, Chinedu. I know this is complicated, but I can't stop thinking about you." Chinedu took a deep breath. Emeka, I don't know what to do. I'm so confused. I care about Adaeze, but I also have these feelings for you. I don't want to hurt anyone. Emeka nodded, understanding the struggle Chinedu was facing. Chinedu, whatever you decide, I will respect your choice. I just want you to be happy. Chinedu felt a little better after talking to Emeka, but he knew he still had a lot to figure out. He decided to take things one day at a time and try to understand his feelings. Days turned into weeks, and Chinedu found himself growing closer to Emeka. They spent more time together, and Chinedu started to feel a strange comfort in Emeka's presence. But every time he looked at Adaeze, he felt a pang of guilt. One day, while Chinedu was at the market, he overheard some villagers talking about him and Adaeze. They were saying that Chinedu seemed distant, and that Adaeze deserved better. Chinedu's heart sank. He didn't want to hurt Adaeze or make her feel unloved. That evening, Chinedu decided he needed to talk to Adaeze. He couldn't keep living with this secret. He took a deep breath and walked up to her. Adaeze, can we talk? Adaeze looked at him with surprise but nodded. They sat down together, and Chinedu began to speak. Adaeze, there's something I need to tell you. I've been feeling very confused lately, and I don't know how to explain it. Adaeze listened quietly, her eyes filled with concern and curiosity. Chinedu felt his heart pounding as he continued. I've been spending a lot of time with Emeka, and I think I have feelings for him. I don't want to hurt you, but I also can't ignore how I feel. Adaeze was silent for a moment, trying to process what Chinedu had just said. She took a deep breath and finally spoke. Chinedu? I appreciate your honesty. This is a lot to take in, but I want to understand and support you. We can figure this out together. Chinedu felt a wave of relief wash over him. He didn't know what the future held, but he was grateful for Adaeze's understanding and willingness to work through this with him. He knew they had a long road ahead, but at least they were facing it together. The next few days were strange and difficult for Chinedu, Adaeze, and even Emeka. Chinedu felt lighter after his confession, but he also knew they all had a lot to sort out. Adaeze tried her best to understand Chinedu's feelings, even though it was hard for her. Emeka, on the other hand, was patient and supportive, knowing that Chinedu needed time. One evening, Adaeze suggested they all sit down together to talk. She wanted to understand more about Emeka and his feelings for Chinedu. Emeka agreed, and they met at Chinedu and Adaeze's house. As they sat together, Adaeze began. Emeka, I want to thank you for being honest with Chinedu. This isn't easy for any of us, but I think it's important we talk about it. Emeka nodded, looking at Chinedu for reassurance. Adaeze, I care about Chinedu deeply, and I don't want to come between you two. I just needed to tell him how I feel. Adaeze smiled gently. I understand. Chinedu and I have been together for a long time, and this is new for both of us. But I believe we can figure it out. Chinedu felt a warmth in his heart. He was grateful for Adaeze's strength and understanding. Thank you, Adaeze. I don't want to lose you, I just want to be honest about my feelings. The three of them talked for a long time, sharing their thoughts and fears. They agreed to take things slowly and see where their feelings led them. Adaeze suggested they spend more time together as friends, to get to know each other better and to understand their emotions. Over the next few weeks, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka started spending more time together. They went on walks, cooked meals, and shared stories. Slowly, a sense of comfort and trust began to grow among them. One day, while they were having a picnic by the river, Chinedu noticed something different. He realized that his feelings for Emeka were still strong, but his love for Adaeze had not faded. In fact, it seemed to grow even stronger. He felt a deep connection to both of them, and was confused about what it meant. That evening, as they walked home, Chinedu decided to share his thoughts. Adaeze, Emeka, I need to talk to both of you. Spending time together has made me realize something. I care about both of you, and I don't want to lose either of you. Adaeze looked at Chinedu with a mixture of surprise and curiosity. Emeka also seemed intrigued. "What do you mean, Chinedu?" Adaeze asked. Chinedu took a deep breath. "I mean, I think I love both of you. I don't know if it's possible to love two people at the same time, but that's how I feel. And I want to find a way for us all to be happy." Adaeze and Emeka exchanged a glance. It was a lot to take in, but they could see that Chinedu was sincere. Adaeze spoke first. "Chinedu, I love you, and I want you to be happy. If this means finding a new way to be together, then I'm willing to try." Emeka nodded in agreement. "I feel the same way. Let's take this one step at a time and see where it leads us." Chinedu felt a sense of hope and relief. He knew the path ahead wouldn't be easy, but with Adaeze and Emeka by his side, he believed they could find a way to make it work. As the days turned into weeks, they continued to explore their feelings and strengthen their bond. They faced challenges and moments of doubt, but their commitment to understanding and supporting each other grew stronger with each passing day. Months passed, and Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka grew closer. They faced many questions from the villagers, who noticed they were spending a lot of time together. Some people whispered and gossiped, but the trio chose to ignore them. They knew their journey was unique and wanted to support each other no matter what. One day, as they were walking through the market, they ran into Chinyere, Adaeze's friend. Chinyere had always been kind and understanding. She greeted them with a warm smile. "Hello Chinedu, Adaeze and Emeka. You three seem to be together a lot lately. Is everything alright?" Chinyere asked. Adaeze looked at Chinedu and Emeka, then back at Chinyere. She decided to be honest. "Chinyere, we are trying something different. Chinedu has feelings for Emeka, and we are all figuring it out together." Chinyere raised an eyebrow but nodded thoughtfully. "That's very brave of you. Love can be complicated, but as long as you are happy, that's what matters." Chinedu felt relieved by Chinyere's response. It was nice to have someone who understood. "Thank you, Chinyere. We are taking things one step at a time." As they continued through the market, they felt a sense of unity. Despite the challenges, they were determined to make their relationship work. They found joy in small moments, like cooking together, sharing stories, and supporting each other through difficult times. One evening, Emeka invited Chinedu and Adaeze to his house for dinner. He wanted to cook them a special meal to show his appreciation. As they sat down to eat, Emeka said, "I want to thank both of you for accepting me. This journey hasn't been easy, but I'm grateful for your love and support." Adaeze smiled warmly. "We are all in this together, Emeka. We are a team, and we will figure things out." Chinedu nodded in agreement. "Yes, we will. And I'm grateful for both of you. You have shown me what true love and understanding mean." As they enjoyed their meal, Chinedu felt a deep sense of contentment. He realized that love didn't have to fit into one mold. It could be different and still be beautiful. Amina added, "Working together makes us stronger." The next day, the trio decided to visit Adaeze's parents. They wanted to share their story and hope for their support. Adaeze was nervous but knew it was important. "Something we need to tell you. Chinedu has feelings for Emeka, and we are trying to navigate our relationship together." Mr. Okafor looked surprised, while Mrs. Okafor seemed thoughtful. After a moment of silence, Mrs. Okafor spoke. "Adaeze, Chinedu, Emeka, love is a powerful thing. It can be complicated, but as long as you support each other and are honest, you will find a way." Mr. Okafor nodded in agreement. "We may not fully understand, but we trust you, Adaeze. We want you to be happy." Chinedu felt a wave of relief and gratitude. "Thank you, Mama Papa, your support means everything to us." As they left Adaeze's parents' house, they felt more confident in their journey. They knew there would be challenges, but with love and understanding, they believed they could face anything. As the weeks turned into months, Chinedu, Adaeze and Emeka continued to grow together. They faced moments of doubt and fear, but always came back to the love and trust they had built. They learned that love could be different and still be strong. And so, their journey continued, filled with hope, love, and the promise of a future where they could all be happy together. As time went on, Chinedu, Adaeze, and Emeka settled into a routine that worked for them. They spent their days working, enjoying each other's company, and navigating the challenges of their unique relationship. Despite the gossip from some villagers, they felt stronger together. One day, while they were enjoying a quiet afternoon at home, there was a knock on the door. Chinedu opened it to find Chief Okeke, the village elder, standing there. Chief Okeke was a wise and respected man, known for his fairness and understanding. Chinedu, male, mid-30s, oval face shape, dark brown skin, short curly black hair, Nigerian, dark brown eyes, wearing a traditional agbada. Adaeze, female, late 20s, heart-shaped face, dark brown skin, long braided black hair, Nigerian dark brown eyes, dressed in a beautiful Ankara dress. Emeka, male, early 30s, square face shape, dark brown skin, shaved head, Nigerian, dark brown eyes, wearing a vibrant Isiagu shirt.